Allow the children
it's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùn rájú. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn rájú. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn rájú.
Today, hello there, brethren. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you, and a good evening to you from wherever you're joining us. It is Mayegun live, and thank you very much for joining me. After reading the caption of the broadcast, it's a quick reminder, right? Read the description as well. Like the broadcast, share it. Invite your friends, invite your frenemies, your not so friendly friends. Invite everyone to join us tonight. Tomorrow is the D-Day for the retrial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the persecuted leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, a man they kidnapped from Kenya over 4 years ago on a trumped up charges that they constantly and continued to amend. In their own courtroom, their own court has ruled that Nnamdi Kanu had no case to answer in Nigeria simply because whatever they claim that is committed or any crime is committed was committed in the UK. Therefore, he should actually go and be tried in the UK. Secondly, when he got kidnapped in Kenya, that automatically gave Nigeria away, or should we say Nigeria lost all their rights to try Nnamdi Kanu for anything. Their court ruled, and it was compensated for the treatment method at him, right? Their court said Nnamdi Kanu should be put on a private plane and be allowed, right, to leave Nigeria without any form of harassment or what have you, if he wants to. Rather, under Boko Haram, Malamu, who is now an opposition, working to come back to power so that they can rescue you from Tifnumbu. It was Malamu that orchestrated the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu. When their court ruled that Nnamdi Kanu had no case to answer, he went straight to the Supreme Court to have a stay of execution kind of order. And their Supreme Court then ruled that revocation of Nnamdi Kanu's bail by their court was pretty much wrong. And therefore, it should be released. That means, but however, the Supreme Court cowered by going on to say it should be retried. On what? The same thing. Anyway, they put a judge, Omotosho, they put a judge in charge and said, okay, they're going to retry these different charges. Initially, they charged him for treason, They charged him for treason and incitement. Then they dropped that. Now they are charging him for terrorism and incitement. And when the prosecution team, which is the Tifnumbu's, because it's under Tifnumbu, the rule that they have to retry him. So the prosecution team on behalf of Nigeria said, let me take that again, by the way. So the prosecution team on the side of Nigeria presented their witnesses, which they actually masked. So these faceless guys came and claimed that, what they found on Nnamdi Kanu, because they were a member of the DSS. And what were the evidence that Nnamdi Kanu had any link to terrorism. They said Radio Biafra. And they're actually quoting what Nnamdi Kanu said in his broadcasts on Facebook, stuffs that are pretty much public. That's their evidence that Nnamdi Kanu has a link to terrorism or has anything to do with what is going on in the eastern part of Nigeria. So they spent, I think, about 2 weeks or thereabout in presenting what they call their evidence. Afterward, in the middle of that, it was also discovered by the judge when Nnamdi Kanu was allowed to address the court, and he told the judge what he's been subjected to, how he's been psychologically being, tortured, physically tortured, denied access to healthcare, denied access to his right to his to worship his faith, right? All of these were shocking enough that even the supposed statement of Nnamdi Kanu that they recorded according to the DSS became something that the court ruled that they are not admissible. I don't know if some of you remember that. So it was considered that Nnamdi Kanu was, whatever he said to them was taken out of duress, meaning it was, they were forced out of him. It was not consensual. So therefore, it is not admissible. So in this ongoing retrial, so the court ruled that the evidence of the DSS and Nigeria is not admissible. However, when it was the turn of the defense, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, they just presented a no-case submission. And this was not just to say, oh, he's got no case, just let him go. No. So they put up their own reasons and defense for why all these are just like a show of persecution for, for no reason. So their no-case submission is that wherever court you take Nnamdi Kanu to in Nigeria, you are just wasting the precious time, so to say. Leave him and let him go. No case submission. So tomorrow, Justice Omotosho be Injustice Omotosho will rule on that no case submission. And what will be the ruling? He's already considered the case, so based on his recent ruling on the same matter, right? So he has considered the entire case as a sham himself. However, we all know that there are vested interests both in Igbo land as well as in the Fulani camps. All the interests that are hell-bent in ensuring that Nnamdi Kanu continue to suffer injustice, persecution, right, are also looking forward to tomorrow. So what is expected tomorrow? Well, it is for the court to rule that indeed, based on the fact that Nnamdi Kanu got kidnapped, there was no real international kind of like law followed. Most of them that Nigeria is probably like a signatory to, right? So Nigeria broke international laws. So it is ideal for anybody that knows law in that contraption, which is expected of the judges, right? Ordinarily to consider the entire thing as a waste of time. There are already established rulings on this matter. Kenyan court, even Kenya government had to deny their role in kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu. So in their own court, it's already been ruled, right, that Nnamdi Kanu's abduction, as well as the torture, including him being taken to Nigeria, they are all completely illegal. That is from the Kenyan court. They have an ECOWAS court, a West African sort of, kind of like regional court, also ruled against Nigeria that this entire thing is pure abuse of judicial process, abuse of power, abuse, right? Now, in Nigeria, there are already 3 different court judgments, right, against Nigeria, still on the same matter, based on the human rights violations of this same Nnamdi Kanu. But the thing is, you are dealing with despots. You are dealing with criminals, lawless people who cherry picks which of their own laws, right, they were there to, or their own court judgment they will obey, right? This is the people we are dealing with. So his family, as well as a member of his legal team, raised alarm just about last week, right? When they went to court, again, Nnamdi Kanu has become more or less like a money-making machine for not just the DSS directors or whatever, right? Including some of their subordinates. It's on record. Can you believe this? That every time they take Nnamdi Kanu to court, that he appears in their court, right? It costs Nigeria between 500 and 700 million naira to provide security. Yeah, you heard me right. Every time you see Nnamdi Kanu in a courtroom, since at least for the past 4 years, every time they manage to bring him to their court, it costs the security of Nigeria over 500 million naira. Who are those collecting the money? What kind of security are they providing? So they make it pretty much look like, oh, it's expensive to manage him. However, it is even cheaper that way, because when he stays with them at the DSS, rather than stay, court says, if court says go and put him in the main prison where, due process will be followed when you want to visit him, family members will be allowed to see him and all that. DSS argued that, and the court agreed that a man that they have locked in their underground cells severally, tortured physically, psychologically abused, with evidence, so as well as with medical reports that said that some of these things are already having, a bad impact on his health, and he needed medical attention. So some are now asking, are they, if Nnamdi Kanu had, indeed committed any crime, are they prosecuting him to at least make him accountable for what he's done, or they are just persecuting him enough that they just wanted him dead? There is nothing justice or whatever in any of this, right? In that same Nigeria where we are watching with our kuru eyes, where Fulani terrorists and other terrorists, right, are granting press conference, they are granting interviews to media in the presence of the military, DSS and all the security guys, in that same place, this whole thing is playing out. So the DSS then came out and said, oh, hang on, the court denied that. They requested that he should be allowed to see the doctors, a proper doctor, go to the proper hospital, okay? And this is not just from his own personal physicians or recommended physicians. It's also coming from the supposed DSS doctor who said, well, indeed, they should let him see or go to the proper hospital, get proper check. You know what I mean? And they denying that. The court denying that. Then DSS came later and said, oh, he's been taken to the hospital. He's gotten out this care he needed. Don't listen to what anyone is saying. Like, seriously. Here is what a member of, what do you call it? Nnamdi Kanu's team had to say. But before that, just yesterday, I believe, a group of elders, right, came out to march down straight to the government house in Abia, right? Because he's from Afaraoku in Abia, right? So to march down to the government house to say, you guys should do everything that you have to do to get this innocent man released. This is no longer prosecution. This is no longer about the safety and security of wherever. Sure, you get. There is now more to it. Yeah, protest. I'm coming back to that is health stuff, okay?
I think I can speak for you now. I'm part of you, you know? I joined the Alam Camp before my cross because we understand I didn't go too much. How many of you were executives? 5 of us. How many of you? 5 of okay. I want to talk to the executive. And being a responsible government, and I am not here, because I make sure that, like His Excellency has said, every Abian is properly taken care of. And if you go below, you don't no problem. So let us have I have here the Secretary to the State Government. He goes, you know that any little thing in Rumoured, as a responsible government of His Excellency Dr. Lex Joma will respond. We like people to organize themselves orderly, just like Unule organize orderly. Instead of meeting no here that moon. So what for trying your leaders, let us just go and have a meeting. Hold on. 1 minute now. Hold on. Let me talk. Because I'm going to do Abia Elders Forum. Mamano. Yeah. Nzikondi Igbo, Ndokeli Igbo, Mamano. Yeah. Nzikondo Keli Igbo, Mamano. Yeah. Ndati Unudonga. Yeah. Nanugu Unudonga. Yeah. Anambra Unudonga. Yeah. Imo Unudonga. Yeah. Ebo Unudonga. Yeah. Gosipụta iwe n'obi ọjọọ lọnụ majụrụ anyị n'obi na ihe na-eme n'obodo anyị bụ Naịjirịa gbasara nwanne anyị nwoke bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, onye ejichiri na mkpọrọ kemgbe afọ.
Onye du IPOB o meriwo n'izu onye ya abakare mama ora una pori meri Nnamdi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Una pori meri Nnamdi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Una pori meri Nnamdi
Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three.
Nigeria committed systemic genocide in the eastern part of Nigeria, all in an effort to stop the idea of self-determination and the Biafra Republic. A proposition of a peaceful plebiscite, referendum, where people are given the choice. And because this is a conversation that they have done so much, they have killed millions, so never heard again. But because the contraption is never really set up by us, we are not even stakeholders, right? Even though they call us Nigerians, but you know what I mean? We are not even stakeholders in what happens there or how it should happen, except the way they wanted it to happen, and everybody should queue, file in line. Nnamdi Kanu is different. He won't just file in line. Do you get what I mean now? So he questioned everything about the contraption. In the process, he became a teacher, somebody who believes that what he knows, everybody should know it. The battle that the Biafrans are fighting, everybody should be fighting for same. Because one biggest lie ever told is that you are a Nigerian. There's one big one, that there is a united Nigeria. We are one. We are one country. When in practice, you yourself would disagree that no, we are not. Even though you want us to be one, great. There are things that makes people one. Because as Bible said, right, can 2 or 3 walk together unless they agree or except they agree. I don't know the right word, but you know what I mean, right? It simply means that for 2 people to remain in a place without them tearing themselves apart means they agreed. So that's exactly what this Nigeria has become. The criminal politicians who believes that Nigeria is a turn-by-turn Nigeria limited. Doesn't matter what the citizens are being subjected to. They don't care about the country itself. No, they care most about themselves and whatever it is that they are scavenging from the land. So if you get so wised up that you begin to question their actions, you begin to question the lies they told you, then you automatically become, a flagged person, right? So they've done everything to make you see Nnamdi Kanu as a threat to you, while the real threats are the criminals who have every opportunity to actually make a country better. But rather, you watch them as they are laying red carpets for terrorists, explaining to you why that's okay, but it's not okay for you, right, to peacefully demand that we want to have this national conversation. We must have this national conversation. So if millions decide that they want to have that conversation, criminal politicians would wage war on them like they are doing to him right now. And I know so many of you who passionately hate him too. They ask you why, right? You just put the entire blame of everything on him as you were made or programmed to be. Do you get what I mean? So, but still, they just couldn't really break what it stands for, as you can see. No. So they've done a lot. deny him regular access to his family or his family's access to him, denied him access to his legal team as at when they wish, so controlled. They won't let his legal team even write or take a statement from him, like, directive and order from him about his case. They won't even let them write anything down. A situation whereby they are denying him access. They are denying him the right to practice his own belief, even in their dungeon there. They are so triggered that they probably believe that he will disappear if they allow him to probably pray. I don't know. That's how much. And I believe most of these, in fact, if not all of this is being done to psychologically break him. Almost every time you see him, he's like so reinvigorated, unshaken, and all that. And mind you, today is his 58th birthday, by the way. And the judge, Justice Omotosho, right? He is 59. He's a year older than Nnamdi Kanu. And therefore, Mazi's birthday is also today. So you can possibly just say happy birthday. It's going to be an engagement, all right? So his family and some member of his legal team had this to say when DSS came out to lie by saying, oh yeah, he's been given medical attention. You know what I mean? He's been allowed to see a doctor and all that lies, right? Here is their own response. Just before tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much. Today is the 24th of September 2025. Myself and my colleagues were just coming out from DSS facility somewhere along the Lube Express Highway, where we went to visit our client Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to find out the status of his health, only to discover that yesterday, the 23rd of September 2025, the Nigerian Medical Council brought in seasoned medical practitioners from various zones of the institute to conduct and review the examination done by Professor Araj on our client Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It became necessary because of the controversy raised by one officer of the DSS called Dr. Nasir Mohammed, who wanted to debunk all the tests and all the findings of Professor Araj. Araj had found that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has issues with his kidney, with his pancreas, with his prostate, with his heart, the depletion of potassium in his bloodstream. And he deposed to those facts in an affidavit before a court of law. Unfortunately, one Mr. or Dr. Nasir Mohammed, who was not, or who has never on his own inspected or investigated Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, decided to depose to an affidavit contradicting the whole findings. Thank God the Attorney General of the Federation, Fagbemi SAN, wanting to do justice, we believe, now requested the Medical Council to give him an independent body to review or to investigate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's status. As we are here today, the 25th, we want to tell you that, the 24th of September 2025, we want to inform the world that this team of doctors confirmed the findings of Professor Araj and also discovered more. As a matter of fact, they found out that Mazi has an issue with the nursery that requires urgent medical surgery. Now, this he incurred as a result of torture in Kenya, in the hands of the Kenyan security operatives and their Nigerian collaborators when they renditioned him from Kenya to Abuja, Nigeria. So the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's health, as we are saying today, is deteriorating by the day. We are urging Nigerians and lovers of freedom to take into consideration that it is only a man that is alive that can ever stand trial. And we do not know what is the specific interest of Nasir Mohammed that he is giving counter affidavits, counter information to the Nigerian society. What does he have to gain from the ill health of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Please, we want our country to understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has not committed any crime known to law, is suffering injustice and punishment for something that does not exist. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu only believes in the freedom of his people. He believes in self-determination. He is fighting for self-determination. And we trust and believe strongly that on Friday, that everything, all this drama, all this shenanigans will come to an end. We believe and trust Justice Omotosho. We know that he will do justice. We believe and trust that the laws of Nigeria will be respected, at least even if it is for once. The federal government of Nigeria will respect the laws and the constitution of this country. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is suffering, who is dying, gradually, courtesy of the federal government of Nigeria, is still strong in spirit. He is still strong in his opinion. He is still strong in the heart. We only want him to be alive to the end of the trial. We want him to be alive to see justice done. We want him to be alive to realize the vision that he has. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you.
Is it not somebody who is alive that will stand trial? And that's where you get to know that it is not about any trial. You understand? Just keep him in detention. Just make it in and out of court, every now and then. Because what will happen tomorrow is this. Two things will happen. Either of the two things will happen tomorrow. So it's predictable. Omotosho will rule, indeed, if he is following the law. It will rule that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime known to law. Not today, not yesterday, maybe tomorrow. But for now, the reason why it is so difficult for them, there are over 4 years of kidnapping. I mean, you would think that he must have done something so terrible. Here you get that they have this evidence of what he has done, that they committed an international, crime of giving wrong intel, false intel to the Kenyan authority just to help them kidnap him. And till tomorrow, we still don't have a clue how much or what was offered in return to Kenya for them to join them in committing this crime. Do you get that now? So even though Kenya is currently saying, no, we didn't know, I mean, we didn't do anything, no, it is true, but what happened was, they are explaining themselves. And their own court in Kenya has already ruled against the Kenyan government on top of this Nnamdi Kanu matter. So the plan is not to, so when you now took him to Nigeria, 4.5 years, you are looking for evidence for a supposed crime already committed. And then you are now using 4.5 years to do what? Only for you to come to the court and start playing the video of Nnamdi Kanu. Clips that are already like from his broadcast. They said Nnamdi Kanu incited the NSAS. That he told the NSAS people that kill them, burn their police station. This thing, yeah. They cut that out. And they use that as evidence of the crime of Nnamdi Kanu in their own court. When the dead Boko Haram, initially said the reason why they had to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu the first time in 2015 was because Nnamdi Kanu came back to Nigeria with broadcasting equipment. You have seen my broadcasting equipment. You've seen my camera. Let me see. I'll show you something. Now, this is what a whole Nigeria said Nnamdi Kanu, right, brought to Nigeria. And because of that, okay, he committed a crime.
Give me a second. Boko Haram and his gang. Sorry, my other camera is not working, so I'm just improvising. Right? So it's like me coming to Nigeria, right? With all of this. And the Nigeria government spending, you get it? Oh, hang on. I should put that on. Nigeria government and security agents, all of them, right? Because of microphone, because of keypad, a keyboard, a laptop, a camera. Yeah, what else? Mixer. And what have you?
Okwari and his gang said Nnamdi Kanu brought in equipment that could destroy Nigeria. And that was why they had to kidnap him in 2015, by the way. And then attempted to kill him in 2017. Only for them to kidnap him again in 2018, then only to kidnap him again in 2021. President of the country said Nnamdi Kanu brought broadcasting equipment, radio Biafra. But now the equipment be that too: camera, laptop, mixer, microphone, his mobile phones, iPad, tablet, other tablet, detachable microphone. These are the equipment. So they even listed them in this their court trial. This one they are doing retrial. The whole country. You would think, Omo, if we release evidence of what Nnamdi Kanu is doing. In fact, you see, we discovered that Nnamdi Kanu brought these weapons to the eastern Nigeria to start war. You know, this is the evidence. This is this and that. Nothing. Social media post, camera, laptop, mixer, microphone, mobile phone. They are the threats that Boko Haram said they were averting. So this time around, they are looking for the other evidence to say, I'm telling you, Nnamdi Kanu is dangerous. Nnamdi Kanu is very, very dangerous. He is the one that is radicalized all these Igbo youth. He is the one that is, you know, they are making up evidence. Forgetting the fact that when Nnamdi Kanu was out there was no single youth restiveness in any part of the eastern part of Nigeria. Not a single place. I say, oh yeah, the IPOB, they are harassing people. Not a single report. Then they kidnapped him. Weaponize their politically sponsored criminals. And their media was also doing a good job for them. Because everything that happened in the eastern part of Nigeria, it is IPOB. It is ESN. So straightforward, within few minutes. That's it. They don't have to do any investigation or anything. Somebody went there, Abuja, former police IG in Abuja, announced that prison break in Owerri was done by the IPOB within just 2 hours after it happened. Only for him to retract himself later and say, no, it wasn't them. Do you get that now? But their media runs it. And there are so many of you that I believe have a lot to say. Any moment you hear the name of Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, and you are not saying all those things simply because you have a personal experience or you are, you did your own personal investigation. No, they are just all these little things that they have already, put in strategic places on your phones, on your in your music and the rest of that, right? Where you can easily just see it. And, mindly, or what have you, begin to feel like, oh, maybe it is true. I heard it somewhere. Oh, somebody said. And all that. They've done so well. Lock him up and try so well to control the narrative. If there are those who didn't understand what Nnamdi Kanu was saying, let us show them that this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to be the king. He's trying to command everybody. If you don't agree with him, they are going to actually kill you. So they have been pushing that narrative for 4.5 years. Only them. And yet none of this is taken to their own courts as evidence to say, this is the evidence. This guy is very dangerous. This is what we have. Look at this, look at that. About in 2025. So tomorrow, we are going to take it on from there, which simply means that we get to see what their court will do or say after all. And another thing that will happen tomorrow, if their court says, no, it's got a case to answer, then maybe they can manufacture other evidence, but that would then have to be for the defense team, is defense, right? To now go on and trash all of the witnesses that they presented, which would then now lead to another one, the judgment. But they can save us all of that tomorrow. Yeah, I think. However, there's another problem brewing in case if it's not really been like, what do you call it? It's not really been publicized enough. I've been hearing about this for a few days now. I mentioned it, I think 2 days or thereabout ago, but it seems to be more than that. There was a report that an orphanage home, right, had some children missing, but a child was kidnapped from there, was taken to Kanu and converted to Islam, changed their name, changed his name and all that. But it seems like there is more, or there are more children affected by this. Even though they said, I mean, it was actually, according to these two guys who went to NAPTIP in Abuja, Peter and Mama P, I think they are called, you know, those two guys. I'll show you. So they went to NAPTIP to go find out, like, what are you doing about these missing children? Missing children in Nigeria. How is that? They said in Delta State, there are women who are looking for their children. And they said these children are up to like 52 children. Somebody who looked like the member of the government of Delta State, right? Came out and said, no, there's no child missing. That's nothing, right? But this was before this new clip, right? So I'll take you to both. First, those who went to NAPTIP. Then after, what a supposed rep of Delta government is saying. In Ugeli is actually where they said this is pretty much rampant or well reported. Here.
All right, fellow Nigerians, country people, we don't reach NAPTIP headquarters here for Abuja. Myself, yeah. Mama P, a flag boy at the back of camera, Sarah Ibrahim, Dedia, so that this will make moto no go jam your papa. Because on this case of the issue of whether na missing children, whether it is kidnapped children, whether it is abduction, whatever it is, we say make we come here to know exactly the situation. And good enough, we met with the leadership of NAPTIP. We thank them. The DG, Hajia Binta Adamu Bello, and other directors from NAPTIP. Nigerian government, it is unfortunate and it is a shame the condition of children for Nigeria. If we cannot agree that we should protect women, protect men, give youth employment, we must agree that we must take care of children in this country. If at all we don't do anything, any nation that cannot take care of the welfare of its children is amongst nations most miserable. Everybody will get hand for the taking care and welfare of children. When a hand did this case, so more videos go come out because talk a day.
So many details.
Ministry of Women Affairs, police, government, but at least we were able to establish. They said the intelligence came from Kano State government, and it has been for years on this issue of missing children. The children we don't miss, they're plenty. And the painful part is to even ascertain that what if of the ones where they say their parents know they, we nobody know about, the orphans that may be there.
Because that's why we are.
Because that is why we are talking about this one, because some people came out. But now they say, according to NAPTIP, they say not be only the women from Delta, they say that they are Peking. There are also women from Kano. Everybody they shout now. They need to conduct the DNA. Mama P appealed to the DG. Yes, you made the request.
I told her that the children be brought to a neutral ground.
Neutral location.
Since they are saying, oh, this north they claim, south
they claim.
Let them now bring them to a neutral ground. They cannot be there claiming.
All this issue of religious and whatever should be removed.
So if you say that NAPTIP is not Christian or
they are
Muslim,
not biased,
then bring them to a neutral ground, which she said in good faith
they
that
will
she will consider and get back to us.
Yes.
So we know that she go one package and
do something.
So that's just it.
And then importantly, NAPTIP said they will expedite investigation.
Because we told them that they are on a litmus test. The whole world is watching. So it's not a thing of protocol. You need to.
And this thing has to be time bound so that children will be reunited from to their parents.
Yes.
Children belong in families.
As we stated them, as they say that they investigate trafficker. And so we still say they investigate their officers.
Yes, officers. Yes. Because we cannot have a situation where any agency that is saying you are protecting a mandate, there should be no allegation that it is possible that elements in that place are carrying out what you are fighting against, it will be an unfortunate situation. So as it is now, we must ensure that we follow up on this case. Mama P, men will mount, the children will be brought back, the DNA conducted, reunited to their parents, and Nigerians, we must fix government in this country.
And judiciary, I want to use this opportunity to beg una, ask them, because there's a big postponement.
Yes, case they court, 1 year. Children need to return to their people in the name of whatever una they say. The children need to return.
Please, oh, please.
The mama will burn this thing. Now, Heinek, make a kukuma go start Mahmoud Yakubu and the person where they say the original way that they do. Yes, now
because if we have good leadership,
all this wahala not go there here. Children, Nigerian children, for God's sake, some missing for 4, 5, 6 years. What of the one where nobody come out on top?
State just came outside to say 17 children, whether Agbaro is missing.
If we cannot take care of children, then what are we doing as a country? In the name of God, Nigerian government, Nigerians must fix leadership.
Nigerians, trenches, everybody around the nation, those online.
I don't get nation. Anybody where they fight for good Nigeria, be your nation. Now trenches
nation. Trenches, please stay active. All the targets.
Oh, they go. You too, your wahala, since I know you now problem. Now my day, my life. All right, fellow.
You know, missing children. I think that's kind of like a common or will be rampant in poor countries, but that of Nigeria is exceptional. You know, it's a place where people hardly keep record. Not even the government keeps enough record, so to say. So children will be stolen. The parents will be helpless. They probably will never see them again, and all within the country, you know, back and forth and all that. So when they said that the number of missing children, right, including the number of missing children in Nigeria is practically unimaginable. So, but the number of found children to be missing or are yet to be returned to their parent and all that, that's also substantial. That's where the NAPTIP or the Ministry of Women Affairs comes in, I think, right? But in Delta State, where it is believed that most of, especially this particular case that has become a thing, right? In Delta State, where women were seen to have protested that their children are missing, and they've received a report that, in fact, the supposed government agent, excuse me, sorry. So the supposed government agents responsible for stuffs like this, that some of them are also involved in human trafficking, child trafficking. So that makes it even more scandalous. Like, you know, if those who are supposed to really protect them are also responsible for them going missing. However, a man that I believe is a representative of a Delta government was on Arise earlier today, and he was talking about it, and he categorically dismissed it. He said, there's no child missing. It's like, so were those women lying? Here, his own response to that.
First, let's make it very clear, there are no missing 52 children in Agbaro, in Ughelli North, or in Delta State, as a matter of fact. When this thing was brought to our knowledge some months back, precisely in May, that there were some missing children and that there was a demonstration, I personally went to the palace of the Osubi of Agbaro, the king, and I had a meeting with those who were victims. And then after that meeting, there was a follow-up meeting in my office where we invited all those who said their children were missing. And at the end of the day, we were able to ascertain that 5 cases were involved. And we brought in the police and all of that. After that, we went to work. And then we found out that out of that 5, that one eloped, one was 70 years old, eloped with the boyfriend, and one other one who says master Success Henry was taken away by the father because the father and the mother were separated, and it took the child to Otokutu, the nearby South that we have recovered. Then another was Tega Ejapofu. That one is particularly very painful. The mother is mentally unstable, and it was roaming the streets with the child. And then when she eventually got her senses, when she was taken to a healing home, she told the people there that she had a child, and that one is one we've not been able to, but the security people are on top of it, on top of the matter. Then there's another one we know of, Moses Lucky. That one was the mother prepared food and said, okay, let her go and invite her friend, and before she came back, the child is missing. Then the other one we heard was that it was they caught somebody with a child on this cat by a cat pusher. You know, this what we call iron condemn. This will go about scavenge metal and all those things around Agbaro. So the allegation was that most of these, they suspend these cat pushers. So what I did immediately was to ban the activities of cat pushers. These are all condemned in Agbaro. So why the police were taking up the other matter. But surprisingly, on the 14th of this month, we got report that two twins were involved. That is a twin, Divine Elisha and Delight Elisha, aged 5 years, that they were left in the custody of their elder sister, one Mercy Agege, who is 15 years. And then while they were there, I think the girl went out and left them unattended to. And before she came back, somebody said that somebody came in there to ask the child of 5 years to get pure water, and then left with the child. So that matter already, so we're dealing with the issue of 3. But even at that, even if I don't want to talk about figures here, for a child missing, it's very painful to have a child to be missing. But the issue of 52, the issue of twin being taken away is not the way it is. This is the first time we're having the issue of between Divine and Delight Elijah. So the first
nuisance Lele. News.
So let me ask, are you by any means convinced by all he said there, right? Because I am not. In all honesty, I'm not. But that is their own position. He said that there is no 52 children missing, except for 5 cases. Out of the 5, 3 is missing. Even though he started the statement that, as a matter of fact, there is no child missing. Only for him to end with, oh, we have the police involved. So 3 missing. So that is why I don't believe him, right? But that's just me. Okay. Children. Can't even imagine what it is like to lose a child. You know, I can't imagine it. But there you are. So the women that came out that said their children were missing, they were lying, according to this guy. Right? But again, it's up to you if you believe him or not. Not that it's going to really matter anymore. So in Lagos today, there is the news of another demolition, as part of the states are still, trying to recover from the flash flood that, took most of their streets, even homes, in TradeFair international markets in Lagos, right? The state government embarked on demolition of 19 buildings, 19 properties within the market. And the rumor has it that they were planning to build residential areas, residential houses, so to say, on the land. And this again has triggered, conversation around the safety of your investments in Nigeria, where you could lose it any moment once the criminal politicians decide that, and you may lose everything without even any compensation, right? So as captured earlier today, starting from this noon, TradeFair in Lagos.
Is the TradeFair complex. You understand? We're going to preserve the TradeFair complex, which is this, which is why we're this is all these buildings. This is the TradeFair complex.
Yeah, and I like to have life now. Yeah, I go Plaza. I just now go from the happen life now. I need Demolition everywhere. Oh, you're gonna go? We're gonna get all the whole building mean and up here. Now this line mean. I need Demolition everywhere. All the whole building mean all of them. They take it everywhere. Why not need them? Why not need them now? And they demolish all the whole plazas today. They are breaking all the whole plazas. And they never get alive now, live this morning. They're going to feel kind of to see the division.
But if you find other kinds
line by line going on. Hey, Mcheko. Opa Plaza Arena.
So, like, how do you actually want to react to that? You know what I mean? Like, people bought lands, right? And then they started construction. Obviously, for those who knows Nigeria thing very well, I'm using Nigeria now because it's pretty much like the same almost everywhere. Started construction, the local government will come and check if you have all your papers, and then they will charge you for something. The state will come. Everyone will come to come and take money. Then your construction, even out area boys will come to collect money. Then you build this, edifice, this mansion, office complex and all that. And then years later, somebody somewhere just feel like, no, this was wrong. It shouldn't be here. Why did you give approval for the construction when it started? So when it gets to the lintel, or what do they call that thing? Lintel, to the first deck, second deck, completion, hired out, businesses are in, and all of that, transactions going, and then boom. Like, why are they so comfortable destroying things like that? Because I don't understand. I don't. Because whatever it is they are planning to do there, it's not going to be different from what is already there. But this time it's going to be another landlord. Like, why is that so easy for people in government to just decide to come around and be like, after they gave you the CFO, gave you the planning approval, building approval, standard kinikon check, everything done, then boom, they are bringing the bulldozers. Destroy millions, if not billions. I don't know how it's so easy like that. I don't. Like, there should be people in there who understands that, who should understand the value of building something. I understand when you have illegal structures that are built on the waterways, that itself should never even happen in a place where you have government. But unfortunately, no, everybody will look away. What happened to the ones that are, I don't know. So that was a trade fair in Lagos. Okay. And it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again and again. And yeah, people will read different meanings to it. But me, I don't want to read any other meaning to it than how convenient is it for these guys that can't really build anything per se to destroy businesses like that. And they will do it with, there's no consequences. There's nothing. It's very sad. Nigeria is a place where, a lot of the people that will tell you today that they are employed, right? Their employers are private individuals like me and you who took the risk of going into a business and then give jobs to other Nigerians in the country where the criminal politicians are doing everything to strangulate businesses, legit businesses per se, right? They are not creating anything. All they know is to take and take and take. So when you see a building goes down, like demolished, that's a business destroyed. And when you begin to count the number of people whose livelihood is completely attached to that business and it's taken, no, it's no longer going to be about the business owner, the CEO, or wherever. Think about his employees. We just have to probably go figure out what they are going to do with their lives. People barely talk about them. We barely talk about those who are working in these places, earning their livings, but boom, taken from them, and they are expected to go figure it out. As we sympathize with most of the business owners who have lost God knows how many billions in the course of these rudderless, roguish criminals who never build, they destroy. Right? It is unfortunate. However, their mama in Lagos, which is your ex lady, she had finally explained to us how much she's made and then what she's going to do with the money. But before we go to that, let's stop by in Abuja, where Omoyele Sowore was in court again today. But another waste of time, judicial process initiated by the police IG, the illegal police IG. Okay, that Omoyele Sowore is bullying him on the cyberspace. And therefore, what do you now want the court to do? It's defamation, cyberbullying. Unfortunately, which is their trademark, by the way, they didn't show up. Delay tactics, just get the court to take his travel document, take his passport, take his, you know what I mean? Something to flex that power, not because it is right. No, it is just power flex and all that waste, complete waste of the judicial process of judicial time and resources for a critic that they just don't know what to do to him. Sure?
Challenge you, challenge you. Another challenge you, another challenge you, another challenge you, another challenge you. Revolution, no.
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. We were expected for trial in a case between myself and the federal government, represented by the illegal Inspector General of Police. The last time we were in court, the judge said that the case was not heavy enough for vacation hearing trial. So we adjourned it today. But when we go to this court, something has happened to the case. Well, I don't know. It was not listed for hearing trial. So we stayed, waited for him, told him that we are present here. We don't want any surprises later. That, when we go to the place, after you left, we discovered that the case was there. So we decided that we would leave, but to return on Monday. We have also checked that the DSS matter is coming up very soon, maybe next week. They said they were assigned a date, but we have been to the court of Justice Kumar, where the DSS is going to start their own trial very soon over our rights to decide what to call criminals. So that is what transpired today. We just want to let everybody know that. Thanks everyone for coming. We know that the struggle has just started, and the struggle continues. Luta continua.
Victoria Asata! Revolution now! Now!
So, except you have any questions for us?
So that was him. And if you notice, over time, Sowore has managed to garner a team of voluntary lawyers. And when you see them around him, right, they are not just for him. They are also for those who get, oppressed by the power road rogues in power in that contraption. So they get the lawyers to go on and work and get you out and all that. The revolution now, they take it back and the rest. So it's their nightmare, and I bet they dread a day a day when Shore would actually really, this time around, attract and command millions of like minds than what you are currently witnessing, where majority just feel like you are with Shore, go chop. If they listen to Shore, go see anything. If you want to make money, you need to go to this, so and so, kind of. So his ways are sort of like rigid, unbending, unchanging, and annoying to many. But I bet they dread the day Shore will walk out and you see millions and say, yeah, let's do it. That will be a problem because according to them, they said that Shore's action can burn down Nigeria. Just the same thing that Boko Haram and his own murderous group accused him of, remember? So, as much as it seems to be like a magnet that attracts the rage and anger of every camp, so to say. But yeah, I don't think they want to kill him or that they can kill him. So far, they don't see him as that much of that threat. Their fear is that what if something happens and somehow Shore's messages, narratives, and all his styles goes mainstream, and in that space, it becomes, when I say mainstream, it becomes something that triggers your already bottled up rage and anger inside you. I think they dread that so much. And that will be the time they will likely want him dead. Do you understand? If Shore comes out and say, tomorrow Friday, we are marching to all the government houses, including Abuja. And then you see the crowd in Abuja, for example, you suddenly see the pull-out crowd of, let's say, 100,000 people. The shock that will first greet you. So far, you get to see all these dedicated take it backers. They are always like attending every procession, every protest or whatever called by their group. So just imagine that you see the first video that comes from Lagos and you see the number there and you're like, Omo, from Obanikoro to Etu, there were sea of heads. Say shock no go catch you and say, wala today, now she will record these people out. It's over. It's this problem tiwa. I'm just saying. And then you go to, for example, then you go on to, let's say, Abia, and then you see like 100,000 people out. That's when you get to know that a problem tiwa. Because around that time, if she will wake up on the wrong side of the bed and said, today, not today, more went down today, in that sense, about all these powerful people will begin to run away from that contraption. No? So I bet they dread that. Honestly, because from all of their utterances in trying to persecute him too, right? They've been saying his utterances can cause national crisis. How? I don't know. Right? So I think it was 5 days ago, right? That I launched my fundraiser for the platform. And funny enough, right? For that, for 5 days, I have only been able to raise a fraction of that. So I don't know. I've noticed that though. I'm just saying, I've noticed that I am barely taken serious by the Templars than when we actually choose to want to help just anyone out there, you know. So I've shared the link again. And if for any reason you, by any means, feel like you could chip in, so please use it, because I don't even know how to say it. Right? Now, let's leave Shore and the police, because part of what Shore and others are accusing the police of, right, in misusing their power, wasting their time, as well as the police resources, right, is the fact that while they are hunting down activists, critics, and all of them, terrorists are having field day. Like we witnessed in the last 1 week, terrorists are granting press, release their press interview and all of that. Like, is that not like shameful for the police to be wasting their time in tracking down who is saying what about Tifnumbu? So a video got published. This was yesterday. And there is a news that somehow we've kind of missed out on. Maybe not. And that was when the Boko Haram terrorists attacked a military barrack in Borno State. This was just about just about maybe 4 or 5 days ago. Many soldiers were slaughtered, killed by these terrorists. However, a surveillance video released showed that while the terrorists were moving straight to this barrack to carry out these attacks, there were actually surveillance video watching them. And there was never any time that these guys were, you know what I mean now? There was never a time that these guys were alerted, you know what I mean, that the terrorists were approaching until they got there and slaughtered an unknown numbers of soldiers. Right now, they burned down the place, burned down their military vehicles, and, carted away weapons, of course. And they went. So that video, I don't know if you have seen it. What many are now saying is that if this is true, that people were in a control room watching that, and they still allowed it to happen the way it happened, then you probably don't even need anybody to tell you anything, that Nigeria is just existing, right? Just for the existence sake right now. I don't know for how long, but it's obvious, like, you've got no government. And those who are saddled with the responsibility of your security, I don't know, they are compromised enough to see the terrorists migrating to go and carry out attack, and there was no alert. Watch this.
Those imagine the can line. Even CCTV itself. You don't capture the all. Down Buruba. Even CCTV itself, no fit capture them all.
So that's why they said
I'm asking this one, the first group, the second group, they don't go as in kai.
See, you see, the other thing, all immediately, see.
Almost see Boko.
I think it's the entire company is here. Maybe then the band and then see the wait and see. One of them is love. See, I can see this on the floor. You know, see?
Yeah, I see. People die. People for here die where. People die where. Oh boy. You didn't know go fight.
say this one na their oga. The police make the enter car.
Yes.
Those one make the car dey
They go. Yes.
And from here.
Some of them don't already enter.
Those imagine the can line.
Say na me go dey see this thing.
Even CCTV itself.
As you don't see your way,
You don't capture the all.
So they still carried out the attack. You know, and there are many of these killings of the uniformed men, security agents, military, like soldiers and others, just killed by these terrorists. In order not to look bad, their own superiors who are supposed to actually appreciate them for their supreme sacrifices just would rather just keep it quiet. There is no honorable burial for them. You know, usually when you see, as you know, right, if they kill any British soldier anywhere, whether he's killed in Britain or he's killed outside, as long as he's still in force, right? You know, they will give them respectable burial to appreciate the fact that this person died wearing the British military uniform, so to say. But Nigeria, they will first deny them. And if to say the Nigerian army, especially, if to say they are patriotic enough, fair and honest enough to be publishing the names of the killed soldiers by these terrorists of this while, you probably will have an entire wall filled with their names, their images, everything. As it should be. If you die as a soldier, as an American soldier, you know what I mean now? You were killed though. It's not like you die. You were sick and you died. That's different. You were killed in action. Baba, the whole country will mourn. The whole country will know that 2 soldiers were killed, 5 soldiers were killed, 1 soldier was killed. They will know. And there's a chance that, you know, your body will be, I mean, your burial will be witnessed by the president of the country. Just to send a message to everybody who is also wearing that same uniform, believing that they are fighting for the country, to see that if anything happened to them, they will be respected like that. So it's worth dying for this country, because this country will appreciate you, not Nigerian army. No. Except if you are a superior officer. You know what I mean? That's when they will kind of make it so important and say, oh, they killed general. Oh, they killed general. So they killed this one. And then they will make it look like, oh my God, you know? But the terrorists are slaughtering these officers, kidnapping them, making videos of them, begging for their lives, and still getting killed by the terrorists. The same terrorists that will put on all of these gears, military gears, right? Weapons, you know, war weapons, to come to the public, gather in a single place, discussing peace deal. The peace that is mostly on their terms. There is no peace given to them or peace deal given to them that you say is on the terms of Nigeria. No. It's always on the terms of the terrorist. Abi, what kind of a peace deal are you doing? The terrorists armed to the teeth, like all these weapons, they will wield them, brandish them, and they will go back with all the weapons. What kind of peace is that? Like, what are they going to be doing with the weapons, if not war? Huh? So, a quick one just before we continue. I've got, let's see, I think I've got like 2 or 3 more stuff to share with us. Okay. So for those of us who have noticed the reduction in the, what do you call it? in the viewing due to what the YouTube is doing. So that automatically means that the revenue of the platform has been cut down, even though the outgoing is still the same. So as much as you try to cut and cut and cut, you realize that for these to actually really be continued and consistent and still quality, right? So there will always be that support time. So I'm waiting for when we're going to get back up, but not until then, right? Please support Mayegun as much as you can. It's very important. But anyway, here is another one. This time, it is RAT. Somebody said I should contact RAT. No, the money RAT raised is for National Library, except if I want to go and register to be borrowing books from the National Library, Abuja. So remiss money is for remiss pals. You don't even want to know how they want to spend it. Anyway, here, she told us how they want to spend it, I think.
But a brief history of why the National Library. I know many people will think, why? I sat in the Senate Committee on Education for 12 good years. And I watched every time for budget defense, a minister will come in. And I kept looking at, there's a lot of list of items everyone has put up that they, if there is money, they will be able to do the project. But then I later noticed what they call the envelope system. That they are just giving an envelope which you are all familiar with. So for 12 years, the library wasn't on the table. But the Honorable Minister for State, today when I was talking, but I just felt led, even as a little girl. The library, from a humble background, the library played a lot of role in my life. And I was listening to Maya Angelou speaking about, in an interview, they said, oh, what college did you? He said, I didn't go to any college. I, self-schooled myself, and which you all are familiar with. And she would teach, master's students and doctoral students in universities like Yale, the Ivy League colleges, and she didn't go to any college. And she was talking about her story being raped at 7, and she didn't speak for maybe about 6 years. But somebody would come to their house, take her to the library, and she started reading from A to Z, and she finished within 6 years. So that is the power of books. And for me, it helped me. And it also shaped me as a teacher. I keep learning, and I tell my staff, you have to learn. Nobody can tell my story except I tell it. Like Mrs. Kukoyi had some talk points for me. And then when I showed her what I wanted to do, she's like, this is not even on the table. I said, what do you want me to talk about? Then, you should have asked me anyway. But this morning, what really resonated with me was John F. Kennedy's speech. Don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And I think in Nigeria, we've come to that space. It doesn't take much to do good. Most of the work I've ever done is not something new. I just make it look big. And that's the idea. And at the end of the day, it turns big. So the library was started during Shagari. It was maybe muted then, in 1981. And 2006, it was approved by President Obasanjo, and they started building with a budget of 8.2 billion. And in 2010, it was reviewed to about 17 billion. 2023 to 23 billion. But you know what it will be in 2025. But Mr. President is ready to take the bull by the horn and start to build. That was what I heard. But you have 11 floors. How do you want to do that? for at least the next 2 years. But my projection is we can build in the next 2 years. And Nigerians, we can raise the money. But for me, I've played my part. The Oluremi at 65 fund will be closed, it will be shut down by December. I talked to you about that, December. You can still keep put whatever you can. But you see, I donated 1 million for the Ecumenical Center during Obasanjo's time. Each time I get into the center, I'm always entering with pride that, yes, I donated something. That's the idea. You see, all these women, before they sat here, everybody had to go to their husbands. If you don't pay anything, you can't enjoy lunch. Every woman you see here, is it a lie? Where's Mrs. Ribadu? Your husband never picked my call, ever. You remember when I want to call him, I'll call you? He gave me his number. But yesterday, he called me. It was like a shock. Wait a minute, I'm going to tell you a story. Press, this is in-house now. Can I tell it? Don't quote me, please. I just saw the missed call. I said, me? Malam called. I called Malam. One ring, he picked up. To give money to Renewed Hope Initiative. But this is just a love project. So their budget is over 100 billion. I don't want to speak on their behalf. The Honorable Minister, when he's back from Onga, will be able to tell you what the budget is, but it's over 100 billion. But to the glory of God, in this short while, money is still going. The one for today, have you converted it? Not yet, you see. And it's going to go again. So we have 20 billion, 456 million, 188,924 and 93 kobo. And it's still growing. Trust me, it is still growing. This is what we can do as a nation.
Tell me, what are we producing and selling to other countries? Not even slippers. We eat the skin of our cows instead of turning them to beautiful bags and shoes. Eliminate that. It's a sign of poverty. Tell me.
All classes, you know what they call F level? When you get failure in all the subjects that you take. F9, F8, F9, F8, FF. Double F. That is his name.
So that's it. So Remi's idea is born out of our passion for education, and she got all of that from using the library when she was very young. And she believes that building the National Library, which was supposed to have been constructed since 1981, right? So the budget for the National Library keeps growing. And as of today, it is going to cost over 100 billion naira. So Remi has managed to raise 20.4 billion as at 2 nights ago. So now, this was supposed to be for a birthday, another about a birthday contribution to, right? So she is going to leave the account opened until December. So by then, maybe they would have raised, half of the money they need to rebuild the National Library. And that would have made a huge, significant difference, I believe, if they needed 100 and, let's even say, because you know them now. Now, with a week case, supposed to build them more. So, but it is not really a priority. So right now, Remiwerepe would trigger it to become priority, where with a wiki would then say, okay, the National Library will cost like 300 billion. The First Lady has already raised 50 billion. So now we are going to have to make sure that we need another 250 billion, and Mr. President has approved it. He has said that we must complete the National Library before his third year in office. And because of this, and the First Lady has tried a lot. She has raised a lot of money. May I even wanted to say that, Mrs. First Lady, keep your money. We can build this. But she insisted, so we now said, okay, Mr. President now said we should take the money from her and add 250 billion to it and complete the National Library for the progress of Nigeria and for the betterment of our children. So what's going to happen? Remy will just have to keep her money. Yeah. And then with the wiki and the others will make money from it. And yeah, they will do the construction within 3 months or 4 months. With the wiki will go there, you will see the block, everything going like they did for that, town hall. The town hall that with a wiki renovated in Abuja. That reminds me. Tifnumbu. What is a town hall?
If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Yeah, it's a successful, again, a town hall, different from Bulaba.
So that we are clear. So in case you're like, how can you use, Bulaba rather. So that we are clear. Enough that if somebody like me is asking, why would they use 39 billion naira to renovate hall? A town hall. So Tinubu would just be like, hey, a town hall is different from Bala Blue, Bulaba. I said, oh, right. I was wondering too. Say exactly. A town hall is different from Bala Blue, Bulaba. Say, yeah, I get it now. The town hall is more expensive in their words. So anyway, even if not just out of that 20.4 billion, if not just the 400 million on top of, I beg make them carry and give the Sekiti children who are currently studying in a Podu, supposedly their classroom. There's no time to study. So they had to scoop water from their classrooms before they would then have to sit on that wet ground or wet floor to receive whatever knowledge their teachers want to pass. So, Vex Lady, please, these children, they will be eternally grateful, right? If not the 400 million on top of help this school. Trust me.
Wo ara class wa náà rèé o. Àríbi dúró sí ẹ ṣàánú wa ewu gbogbo ilé wa bó ṣe rí o. Ẹ wò wá báyìí o, ẹ ṣàánú wa o. United la wà yìí o. Class mi tún lélẹ́yìí. Ẹ wò bá ṣe rí báyìí. Àtolùkọ́, àtàwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́, gbogbo wa là ń gbọ́n mi o. Ẹ wò bílẹ̀ bí yìí bó ṣe green. Ẹ wò gbogbo bí ló ti dagun. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ ó tẹ̀lé wa lórí. Ẹ ṣàánú wa. Ẹ wò ṣé tá ń ṣe látàárọ̀ kùtùkùtù. Tá ti jí wá síbí lénìí. Ẹ wò iṣẹ́ tá ń ṣe láàárọ̀ kùtùkùtù Monday ní o. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ akọ̀bẹ̀yìn ni abẹ̀yìn ni ẹ ṣàánú wa abẹ̀yìn ni àfọlọ́run ọba bẹ̀yìn ẹ ṣíjú àánú wò wá ẹ wo omi là ń gbọ́ látàárọ̀ o omi òun là ń gbọ́ látàárọ̀ àárín kọ̀ọ̀kan ṣe omi la ṣà ń gbọ́n àtolùkọ́ àtàkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ gbogbo wa ló ń gbọ́ mi báyìí omi là ń gbọ́ látàárọ̀ o ẹ wò wá báyìí ẹ wo gbogbo ilé wa báyìí gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ti ṣí gbogbo ẹ̀ pátápátá ló ṣí òní ẹ wò báyìí gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ṣí gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ti ṣí àárín kọ̀ọ̀kan àríbi dúró sí láti kọ́ àwọn ọmọ wọ̀nyí o àríbi dúró sí láti kọ́ wọn o ẹ wò báyìí àfọlọ́run ọba bẹ̀yìn ṣé tá à ń ṣe mí láti gbà tá a ti dé látàárọ̀ o ẹ ṣé o ẹ jẹ́ aráàánú gbà o ẹ̀yin náà aráàánú gbà o ẹ jẹ́ kí lè wé wa aráàánú gbà o Wesley United ìwóròmù Èkìtì láwa o níwọ̀ ìlà oòrùn Èkìtì ìtì ibẹ̀ láwa ẹ ṣé o ẹ jọ̀ọ́ o àfọlọ́run.
We are a poor nation. The bank code will follow. They say firewood, not smoke. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, shine it, and tell the West, if you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. They're doing. The great youth of Nigeria. Great. 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 Greatest, yo. The great youth of Nigeria. Great. 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 Greatest,
Yo. That's a call. The greatest Nigeria, youth of Nigeria say great. The greatest. God damn it, man. Anyway, that's call. Talking about the youth. So there is a group called Yaga. Okay. And I think it is the youth in government or youth in youth advocate. I don't know. They are called Yaga. Okay. They're about youth and they're about the youth in politics, good governance, this and that. So their leader, right, is speaking on this your 2027 charade, the oppositions, this and that. And I have this view captured. I'm coming back.
For good and for bad. That's perspective from some Nigerians who believe that there are a lot of things, a lot of gaps under his watch. Now, in terms of the agitation from the minds of Nigerians on who should be the leader of INEC or who should lead INEC, and those who are the management of INEC, who are they, where are they from, the issues of bias, issue of their background and competence. A lot of things come into the fray, but let's get the conversation started. Those who are now anticipating and mapping out what should be the norm. Samson Itodo is an election observer and election development expert and the executive director of Yaga Africa is live for us here in our studio to give insight. Thanks so much, Samson, for joining us.
Thanks, always a delight to be here. Good evening.
How significant would this transition be, not only for INEC as an institution, but for our elections?
I think, Shehu, you've said it all. It's very significant. Significant because you're going to have a relatively new electoral commission that will manage the 2027 elections. And you recall a few weeks ago, Yaga Africa, we released our status of electoral integrity report for 2025. And one of the projections that we made was that the 2027 election could most likely be the most compromised and perhaps the most expensive. And one of the reasons that we advanced was because of this leadership transition in INEC. If it's not managed carefully, if it's not managed from a statesman point of view, you could probably have, the next elections jeopardized because citizens are not going to trust, who mans INEC. So it's very significant because Professor Mahmoud has been there for 10 years. That's a decade. And his exit, leaves a lot of vacuum, because you ask yourself, if a new chairman is appointed, whenever he is there sufficient time for the chairman to settle? If you look at what data says, and I'm sure we're going to go through the slides, you see the commissioners who are leaving next year, and then those who are leaving on the eve of the 2027 election. So to a large extent, it's quite significant. Don't forget that the level of trust of citizens in the electoral process is also at its lowest ebb. So this is really an opportunity, for the president, for the Senate and the National Assembly to rebuild public trust and confidence in the electoral process.
We forget things quickly in this country. Like him or hate him, Mahmoud Yakubu will be known as the man who entrenched beavers. Will be known as the man who introduced the election result Green Porter. Will also be the man who finalized on the delineation to an extent of polling unit, and at the time it was.
That's a Mamudu Yakubu. His time is going to end in another month. So he's expected to go on an annual leave next month, this coming month, October. So the annual leave will mean that Tifnumbu would then have to appoint somebody who is going to be like the acting INEC chair until the confirmation by the Akpabiolis Senate, right? Or Kolu can renew his tenure for another 5 years. So right now, people are already speculating that Tifnumbu and this gang are not going to take any chances. If everyone want to fall, let that everyone fall in 2027, even if you don't vote for him. He will be declared the winner. And that to happen, you will need someone that could not be accessed or intimidated. And that person must be someone that you really, really trust that much, because it is one assignment: declare Tifnumbu and declare 80% of the National Assembly members for APC. So that in all, it's going to be like, if you want to uproot Tifnumbu, you would have to uproot everybody else. And as usual, everyone will begin to defend it, because their own lifeline or their own livelihood is on the line. Simple. So they are already speculating about those Tifnumbu is looking to use as replacement, or better still, right? Or better put, there are already speculations that Tifnumbu is going to change Mamudu Yakubu. So who? I don't know. But in the next few days, there's a chance that the news is going to tell you that Tifnumbu has nominated somebody else, and Yakubu will need to transfer to that person in acting capacity, and that's it. Mamudu Yakubu and everything is done, we then just kind of like walk through the door with him, like that of Jega. And don't be surprised when they finish the rigging of Tifnumbu in 2027, right? They may give Yakubu ambassador or make him a board. I mean, Jega is currently full-time APC, even though he is still pretending to be a political. You know what I'm talking about? 2015 and then 2023, right? Anyway, thanks so much, everyone that responded to my, I don't know how to really say it, right? But the thing is that for me to stay afloat and not get so like completely, demotivated, so to say, right? So my platform is running short of about 1,000 in expenses, so to say, outgoing. So if the incoming, the revenue is kind of like shorter and the outgoing is more, then one is actually like, it's going to be like someone is pushing the train's throttle, right? On the full speed, because you want to run into the rock, into the wall. I don't want to run into the wall. All right. And that is why it is easier. I could speak to my own constituent, right, for help. So I want to say thank you to these individuals, because some put their names as anonymous, which is good, on my GoFundMe. Let me see if I can share that. Yeah, I took that picture in the US and I just had their cut, by the way. So yeah, I've had an add-on, and indeed you too can possibly support. So this is anonymous, don't know, so thank you. The link to that is presently in the comment. You can use it. You know what advantage about crowdfunding is that if the half of the viewers decided to just say, okay, I'll give you £2, I'll give you £5, in that regard, right, it could actually make a difference. I know you just wanted to listen and just go to bed, right? Anyway, I'm rounding up in a minute. And before that, here is one thing that El Rufaya said at Audio Base requirement or wake up. In Audio, the former agriculture minister under Boko Haram, the former PDP chairman, when Obasanjo was president, right? And then he made Obasanjo a pounded yam with egusi. And after Obasanjo finished eating that in his house, Obasanjo gave him his resignation letter and told him to sign it, because it's already been prepared. So when Obasanjo, then he signed it. So Obasanjo left. When he got to his car, he stopped. He walked back in and he said, no, you didn't date it. You need to remember that story. So he's dead now. And politicians were there saying every good thing about him. But here is what El Rufaya shared happened between himself, Auduogbe, and Obasanjo concerning the lands in Abuja. The same way where the Wike is demolishing people's properties and taking their lands, El Rufaya did the same. But yeah, what's his reason?
To convert Abuja into a Singapore. That was the first hit I had as a ministerial nominee, that I was going to be posted to the Federal Capital Territory. Well, I responded and the interview was over. And I was posted to the FCT. Shortly after I settled down, we did an analysis of residential land allocations in the Federal Capital Territory and found that indigenous of 3 states in Nigeria owned 62% of all the residential plots in Abuja. I will not mention the states. But that worried me personally, because if we are building a Federal Capital Territory, everyone should have a stake. So I went to Chief Auduogbe as chairman of the party and as someone that I consider my mentor. I went to him, I said, sir, there is a problem in Abuja. He said, what is it? I explained everything to him. He said, look, we have to inject a sense of balance in land ownership in Abuja for it to be a truly federal capital city. He said, so what do I do? He said, let's think about it. 2 days later, he called me, and his solution was simple. Let us identify the states that are not represented, that don't have people owning plots in Abuja, states like Bayelsa, for instance, and ensure that we grant them large allocations of land to the state government, either the State Housing Corporation or the State Property Development Corporation, to develop so that at some point the government can sell to indigenous of Bayelsa so that they all have a sense of ownership. And with that, we went to President Obasanjo. President Obasanjo endorsed the idea. But President Obasanjo said, some of these states that didn't vote for PDP, don't go to them. I said, yes, sir. So when we came out, we went to Chief Audu Ogbe's house. He said, Nasir, you're going to go to each state governor, whether it's ANPP, PDP, AD, we are trying to build a Nigeria for everyone, not for PDP. I'm the chairman of PDP. I love the PDP, but this is not about PDP. This is how to work with. He was a fair man. He was a passionate man about Nigeria. He was passionate about progress. He was passionate about fairness, equity, and justice. And that's what we did. We went to all the disadvantaged states. I went to the governors. I showed them the problem. And each state was asked to give us their housing corporation, property development corporation, and we gave them large plots of land to build housing estates and so on. That's my first Audu story. The second one.
Don't tell us the second one. That won't be necessary. Because this one, sir, you get that CB. Me, I know say he's lying, but I don't get evidence. Do you get that now? I personally know that he is lying, but I don't have evidence. I may have a little bit of kind of like a brain walk around what he said, scrutinize that a bit, but I'm currently out of time. But he just said that 36 states in Nigeria were given lands in Abuja. I am aware that almost all the 36 states have their own governor's lodge in Abuja. But I'm not aware that El-Rufai allocated lands. Number one, it didn't say how much land and where. But he just said that under Obasanjo, he used his wisdom and he called the state governors, all the 36 states, and he allocated lands to them in Abuja. That one should be verified. I don't think that is wholly true. Because according to him, he worked with their state housing association at the housing authority. Baba, do you know where your housing authority is in your state? Even the Lagos state that is so popular. Do you know where the housing authority is in Lagos? Can you tell how many houses they are currently managing in Lagos? That you say, oh, these houses were government this and that. I know there are government properties, so don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that how many states in Nigeria have housing association, housing authority that is functional? I think that's it. That should be the question. That is functional. I don't know how many. So El-Rufai couldn't be saying the truth. Now, like I said, I don't have evidence, so I'll leave you to it. Now, do you think we should take calls, right? Because I'm up for it. If you are, all I'm going to need is just a minute or two break, stretch my legs, and probably pee and come back. Is that all right? Because I know so many of you wanted to be part of the conversation this afternoon, but maybe unable to join us. So we could do that this evening. Again, I'll leave the line open, right? Take a break. If I come back and it's not really busy, yeah, we'll call it a night. Is that all right? Anyway, don't go anywhere if you still want to be part of this, okay? And if you have to, go. Remember, try like the broadcast if you haven't already. But if you have, don't do it again. I will be back in a minute or two, okay? caller tonight.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, sir. The general.
Yes, sir. Is that Pulapenga?
Yeah, this is Pulapenga.
How
Good
are you
evening
doing,
to you, sir. Yeah, I'm doing great, sir. How are you, sir, and your family, wife and kids?
We are also surviving, though. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, we are fine. We are fine. Thanks
So,
for what you always. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's Pulapenga.
Yeah.
Yes, go on.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to just chip in one or two. You know, firstly, you see this kidnapping going on in I think Delta. Do you remember the last time you shared this a program on that?
Yep.
I think it was last 2 months ago or 3 months ago. You shared a program on that. That's to show that you are even more deeper than we may assume. You know, yeah. The last time you shared the program on that aspect of missing children, none of Nigerian TV media houses carried that news. It was this recent one now that they all picked Araizo and the channels, you know, because believe me, see, Tipnumbu may try as much as possible to cover so many criminality going on. He's so corrupt. I'm telling you, he's so corrupt. And the only people trying their best to be truthful, I think maybe 50% is Araizo. They are trying.
And you can easily tell that they don't really like them in Tipnumbu's as Orok, by the way.
Yes.
They don't like them.
Do you know?
It's like singling them out, like, oh, arise. You arise from arise. It's like.
Okay. Do you know Wike cannot call this a press media shot without blasting Araizo? Everything, even Omole, he will also blast them. Because believe me, Araizo, they are trying, you know, but I know that Kolu has the power to sanction them, but they are still trying. They are trying. That is why I said I wish Maegu would be going deeper to Nigerians, not we outside, but to the people in that country. The eye will open. It will not be up to what we expect before they will have the revolution in that country. But most of them, they are blind on air. They are blind. Just like when I was there, I was blind on air. It was when I traveled out of that contraction when I saw my ego and I keyed into it. The very first day I saw my ego, I keyed into it. My wife was telling me, "Who is this person? This guy looks different. What is this saying? He's so real. I am telling you. And ever since then, I never missed my ego.
Thank you very much.
Believe me,
come a long way.
Keep it on, sir. Yeah. That shall come. My ego will have 500,000 viewers live.
Well,
it will get to that time.
For that time.
We'll get it.
When we have traction, you know, something called traction is when this shadow ban and all this algorithm nonsense have become something that can no longer hold you back in a way. That's the moment. We will get there.
You know, do you know, sir, do you know, I wish, okay, let me say, I wish like 30% of your current subscribers now, they do tune on by 8 p.m. Nigeria time. Dubai time is 11 p.m. here. I wish they do tune on without even notification. This shadow ban will not even show in.
I know.
Yeah, but most of them,
what we really need is just to have, if we have a 10% of the subscribers to get notification, just 10%. So 10% is like, 10,000 or so. Okay?
Yeah.
So
I don't know why.
Out of the 10,000, right, you have 5,000 that turn up. So them turning up, liking the live video and every other video will also help others, right, to get their own notification bar.
Exactly.
It's going to be a matter of time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Paula.
And yeah, okay. Let me leave it at that.
It's really good to hear from you. I know it's probably past 1 a.m. right now in Dubai, right? But let's take another one.
Yeah, we're still over here. Thank you, sir. Take care.
Bless you, Baba. Appreciate you. Let's take this. Hello.
This no follows.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, my good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Well, very well. Thank you.
How is your family doing, your kids and your wife?
Baba, we are surviving though. We're thanking God though. Thanks for asking.
We bless God. Let me bless you as usual. May the Lord keep you and protect you.
You see?
May the Lord sustain you and give you more knowledge and wisdom.
You see?
Every power that is not of God that has coming to bring you down, may Chukwukabiyama fight them. In the name of Chukwukabiyama, we pray.
You see?
You say?
You see?
You say?
John
Baba Mayebu.
Mazi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you for your good work.
Thank you.
You are doing an amazing work. It's not easy. But let me tell you something.
Please.
As far as we are concerned, Nigeria has been destroyed. As far as we are concerned, and what we are telling the whole world is the truth and nothing but the truth, Nigeria has been destroyed. Now, I will go fast so that I will give other people a chance so that they will call in. Our father, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, make a comment. He says, stand up and protect yourself, or else they will kill us.
Yes.
Not only the Biafrans, not only the Oduduwas, not only the Arewas. It's going to affect everybody.
Everyone.
Either you're in diaspora or you're not in diaspora. It will affect everybody. Why do I say that? It's what happened in Northwest. It is Zamfara or whatever that they call the terrorists. Welcome them, give them.
Katsina. It's called, the place is called
Katsina State.
In Katsina.
Yeah. Give them amnesty. You want to give them amnesty. The Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is agitating for the people. You heard him. You deny him freedom. You are trying him after the court. Your own court have told you that this man have no case to answer. Still, you didn't worry about that. Let me tell you something. I will use this man and quote. It's not my word, but another person's after the quote. How many times would they tell you that Nigeria is for you? It's not for you. It's not for me.
How many times would they
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Now they never leave you. They have left you behind.
John Eze.
Yes, sir. Papa, let this man, let them. They know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have no case to answer in their court.
They do.
By the special grace of God, we are praying that God will make them to obey their law. Just obey what? Obey your law.
Should we be praying for them to obey their own laws?
Baba, in where you are living in Europe, they obey their law.
They do.
Just obey what you wrote. Obey your constitution. Obey your rule of law. That's all we need. Just obey. We don't care about what shenanigans you are doing. Just obey your law. Obey your mandate.
Wrong. You have brought me before your own courts. You are going to try me with your own laws. Now your law says you should let me go, but you disobey it by finding means and anything at all to keep me and lock me. Like, how is that normal?
Then the second one I want to say is this. You know, they did the United Nations Assembly. Our president is your president, that is my own president too. But it's not president by vote. It is president by grabbing, snatch it, grab it, and run away with it.
That's right.
Other presidents in Africa, they attend that National Assembly's conference, whatever. Last year, they do it once in a year. Last year, 2024, he sent his vice president.
He did.
His vice president is an terrorist
sympathizer too.
To go represent the Zoological Republic. Well, it's my country. But if they can be able to allow me to choose where I have to go, it will be very nice. But they never allow me to choose. Because I'm tired of that place. They can't protect you. If something happens, police or army cannot protect you. So allow me to choose which way I want to follow. You can't force me to stay where I'm not safe. In America here, where I'm living in Boston, if something happens to me, I call 911. They will come. Yeah. It may wait like 10 to 15 minutes, but they will respond to me and know what is going on. Right? So allow me to choose where to go. Baba, may the good Lord bless you and keep you in the future of
Gabriel. God bless you, Baba. Bye-bye. Safe, eh? Thank you very much for calling in. So yeah, the line is still very much open. And you too, yeah, you can add your own contribution as well, as it should be. So it is the part where you go beyond just the comment, where you can indeed add your own voice. And usually we also say that it doesn't really have to be about what we are talking or the topic we are dealing with right now. It could be something else. But there's been enough shared there this evening as well for us to probably have either near same opinion or different opinions, right? So the line is open. Let's take this. Yeah. Same opinion or different opinions, right? So the line is open. Let's take this. I can see here myself. You might need to mute that. You are connected now. Hello. So it's like somebody just picked the call. I was like, let me see if it's connected. So we are done with that. When people call in and then they are holding the phone and they're also watching the screen. And in that sense, right, they want to hear the voice so that they can know that, okay, is that me? It's you. Please, when you are calling in, put the phone possibly in speaker so that whenever my voice pops up from your device, you can know that you are connected. It's easier that way. So once again, please, if you haven't really like the broadcast, you should before you leave, okay? As we are, rounding it up slowly. Now, let's try it again, Mister or Miss.
It's me. It is me you are trying to describe.
Oh, is that what you are doing? Was that you
yes.
Your phone and trying to be sure that is this even live? Like, am I on the?
Yes.
Right?
No, I started like 8 minutes late, but I know that I'm live.
You are.
So I'm with. Yes. Mayegu, you are doing so well,
too, right? Because sometimes people will be watching Mayegu,
yeah,
and they will be calling, and they'll be disappointed that
yeah,
it's not even live. If you are watching on Facebook, right?
No.
If you are checking Mayegu on Facebook, you will see this red circle around the name Mayegu, yeah, and then my profile picture. You will see a circle red. That means I am live. On YouTube. There's also the red circle too, but the other thing that will give it up is that you are going to see live. And another thing, if you miss all of that, right? Because I do play replays, right? Whenever my ego is live, check the date. Do you get that now?
It is live.
Once you join,
it is
check
live.
the date on the screen and check, is that today? Then it's live. If it is not,
it's live.
If it is a replay, right? I will usually remove the date from it. It's going to be blank. Like there won't be anything much on the screen. Just me and the other things there, okay? So I'm saying this to others too, who probably, couldn't really get it. But yeah.
Very well.
You, sir.
Very well. I called you once from Warri. When I was in Warri.
Oh, brilliant. How are you, Baba?
I called you from Warri. I went to do a job there in Warri. I told you when I return to Lagos, I'll speak with you again.
And you're back in Lagos now, or you're back on the road?
No, I'm in Lagos.
Right now.
I'm in Lagos. I stay in Lagos.
Brilliant.
I stay in Lagos. You are doing very well, though. I'm very angry with what they're doing with those properties in
TradeFair.
What do you call it? TradeFair. TradeFair.
These are beautiful structures. They didn't spring up just last night, and whatever it is,
spring up.
Government that is so happy to demolish such. Man, I don't understand though.
Somebody will start building from the ground, like you said, raise the blocks, get to lintel, start roofing, and you do not demolish. Now it is ready for occupation, and probably people have even occupied them. Then you come with your bulldozer.
Business names on some of the properties. They've already given them.
I saw them. I saw them, and it's very sad. Really, really, really sad. They're targeting a certain part of the country, and they classify everybody after after, is it from Benin?
Everybody, no.
Those of us,
all of now will be like
after
that, or including Edo people, right? They are considered Igbos.
So
you are all this,
and they are demolishing. Yeah, they are demolishing all those properties. It's very sad. No, some of those people have married Yoruba women. So they have their children are half Igbo, half Yoruba, half Delta, half Yoruba, or half Efik, half Yoruba. All these Yorubas have married from Delta, Enugu, Anambra, Cross River, all over the country. So they're half Yoruba and half of wherever they've come from. And you just come with your bulldozer and demolish everything.
All you need to
really,
do is
really
one flimsy, stupid reason that most of the time are not even legal. They are just somebody's thought, somebody's idea. But when you say, okay, but we've got all the papers, we've got this and that, they invalidate their papers. Like, what is the essence of me having all this document concept, right? I decided to buy a landed property, for example, in Nigeria, right? And I have all the documentation, the government, everything is there. So that means with those documents, I could go anywhere and say, yeah, that is my property. Then you get your property demolished. Somebody from one agency is telling you that your document is invalid. And just like that, no compensation.
Just like that.
I mean, I don't know how people are doing it.
No, it's not and this heightening under this heightening under this government.
Yes,
it's never been like this before. It's never been like this before. So we need to all people that love this country, by hook or crook, we need to find a way to stop it, to eliminate this government from 2027.
Well. What they are brewing, which somehow might seem to be germinating, except if we are all going to be pretending. This issue of
we are not pretending now. Well, everybody's saying it.
Right?
No.
You get me now?
It's wrong.
Actually,
yes.
is already claiming its victims, or where this is going to end, it's not going to end well. If we allow these Ronukus and the rest of their gang to weaponize tribal differences, to weaponize everything weaponizable for a country that is already divided, that is not going to end well. For anybody who cares to kind of think that, it's not going to end well. Not for anybody.
It will not. Michael, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the good work you are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Enjoy
Thank you. The other day, I asked how I could send something, but somebody told me how to do it.
Right.
So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it within the week.
Oh, bless you.
I'm going to do it within the week.
I appreciate you.
You are doing so well. Thank you. Thank you, Maegu.
And you too.
Thank you.
Stay safe, Baba, you know, sometimes when you say all these things, those who are fanning this ember of hatred and all that, they will hide behind, you know, the what they call the conservatism. So they'll tell you that it's because you are liberal, you are accepting everything, you don't understand. And if you listen to the contents of their arguments, about everybody should be concerned, you know, Ronukus are building stories up, right? And they are saying that the non-Yorubas who are married to Yorubas, they are using what they called tainted blood invasion. So that once they marry Yorubas and they have children, they will now use those children to take over Yoruba land. And the Igbos will now be controlled. This is the theory on what they are saying. And then when you look at the content of this, I don't know how old, I believe that most of my viewers are kind of like adults above 25. You should be worried. Rhetorics like that, you can only know the beginning. You are likely never going to know where it is going to end. That's why people like me continue to shine lights on it. All right? It's not because I'm not seeing all sides. And I kind of like highlight all sides too. I want to tell you those who are really weaponizing it and why. And why did it kind of escalate, get to this level after your 2023? They have their own defense too. I don't lie you. I've read all the arguments. Yeah. Hello.
Good evening, Michael. How are you?
Well, I am surviving. Oh, thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm fine, and you? And how is the family?
Well, at least we thank God. Again.
Okay. I just call for just one purpose.
Please.
The lady that few months ago, when I called in and was talking about Nigeria disintegration, and she was saying, she called and said that Nigeria can be redeemable. I want to that woman to be listening to the broadcast you have been making, and let me see the possibility of Nigeria becoming a nation.
Like not like this. It can't be if it continues like this.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Nigeria is an irredeemable country. There is nothing you can do about Nigeria except to, in fact, I keep on saying this. You can get at least up to 10 countries or even more in Nigeria, just like it is done in Europe here. There are countries with 500,000, 600,000, 1 million population. So why would such a country with landmass and everything, in the north alone, you can create more than 4 or 5 countries since they have the land. You know, when you come to the south, you can get at least nothing less than 3 or 4 also. So I don't see the reason why they should put everybody a black nation, black people that don't reason, they don't think. It's not like white people who can, like America is, you know. America has over 320 million and they can manage themselves because the way they follow their law, and each state has its own law and all those kind of stuff. You can't do that in Nigeria, you know. So you have been on point. Yeah. So they are not honest to themselves. The leaders are not honest to themselves. If they are actually honest to themselves and they want to build, look at Atiku. Atiku is talking to when he at his age. If he has the country's interest at heart, why would he be asking to run for presidential election at his age? You know, even I'm an Igbo person. Even Obi, also all of them soliciting to run for those elections. They should look for younger people who are ready to propel. Assuming they are really interested in building a nation. They shouldn't be talking about themselves because all of them are corrupt. I don't exclude any one of them. That's my own stand. That's my own opinion.
It's beautiful. Thank you very much for dropping that. Okay, you are entitled to it, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, have a good evening. D1. Baba. In case if you don't know, you know what I'm talking about, so you shouldn't put yourself in that frame, right? I've had people who claim to be conservative, right? And conservatism includes self-preservation. You get me now? And that's by definition, and for those who want to be conservative. And these are people who are very much concerned about preserving what is considered culturally, traditionally, even religiously and all that, to be theirs with passion. And I respect them. They are the kind of people who are always more or less like, this, when you hear conservatives abroad, so similar. Now they are calling them right wing, left wing, and not this kind of wings now, which is like the extreme, so to say. So D1, we have miscreants who were Buhari idiots, Buhari Deans, Buhari Diderins. They were Yorubas. Under Boko Haram, they defended every anti-people policies of Boko Haram. You remember? They were doing all of that because of Tifnumbu, that a day like this, a time like this will happen. Then Tifnumbu is now the president, Abi. And these guys are not only going after non-Yorubas, they are classifying Yorubas. So when did that start? How is that part of conservatism? Wow. That they are now saying people who have Yoruba parents and maybe mixed parents, they are called tainted or being a tainted blood. When did that start? Is that conservatism as well? And then you know who I'm talking about. You get me now? The ones who are doing this, they are fear-mongering. The fear-mongering of, oh, listen, we need to brace up. In fact, we need to get ready for war. Some people are coming to take over our land. Is that also conservatism? Where they are calling the Yorubas who disagreed with Tifnumbu and APC, Egbekegbe, as Omale Yoruba bastards. Meanwhile, there are many of you who can't even stand this shitty APC, Egbekegbe, or even Tifnumbu by any means. But somehow, they have managed to coerce you into believing someone. Don't pretend that you're not reading all of them, because some of you come onto my Egun's Diary political to act normal. Because, here, none of all these sides could come here and throw all this toxicity around without us getting rid of them. So everybody pretend to behave normal here. But outside here, we all see we all know what we consume on social media. I see a lot of them too. And most of these things that we consume on social media also influences our thoughts and most of the time our actions too. Like I've said on Mayegun's Diary Political, who is that Yoruba person that will read it online? Somebody writing denigrating their stuff against about the Yorubas, and she will look at it and you not feel like, God damn it. How many people can really do that? But because I have been on this street for a while, we all watch this whole thing escalated to what it is now, and it's going to get worse. I know some of you are struggling to control your Omoluabi and all of that. But here is the thing. I don't know how long you can hold on to it. You know what I mean? Like, hold on to before you probably join them. But the thing is this. It is politically motivated. It is never about Yoruba land. All this nonsense that... So those of you who have passion for Yoruba land, you know what I mean? Like those of us who have that passion and all of that, we can easily be swayed by these trolls, these Oloriburuku Dedes. And in the process, you're already doing their battle for them, even if you say you don't like Tifnumbu. What they want you to do is just to at least help them weaponize that hate. I'm not going to explain further, right? Let's take this. Here is another caller. Please like the broadcast if you haven't already. Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Hello, Michael. Good evening. It's me.
Charm.
How are you?
Well, I'm very well. See here.
I'm not 100% today, but there's something I heard that just, it really offends me, and I feel like any chance I get, I just need to address this whole, why people have this capacity that black people don't have. I'm sick of that argument. I'm royally sick of that statement. There's no edge that the white man has over us intellectually. Okay? When you want to make arguments about why Africa is, you have to go back to the history. You have to go back to colonialism, even the neo-colonialism that we're facing as a people today. There's so much that they have done. Imperialism, there's so much that has been done. There's so many things that are institutionalized that make it difficult for us. It's just the same way we keep on arguing about leadership. Nobody wanted Kolu. No sane person wanted Kolu to become president. Everybody wants to move forward for goodness sake. But guess what? We live in a world where as long as Africa is bent over, right? As long as we don't have leaders that are accountable to us, right? We will never have a country, or we will never be a people that will move forward. Simple and short. Because again, it is in their own best interest to keep us the way we are. So when people come out here and talk about how white people are able to do this and white people are able to do that and black people are not able to do that, it incenses me. You're just showing that you haven't applied any critical thinking to the African situation. They have no edge over us intellectually. They are not smarter than we are. The problem is that we have people that have been bought over, and they have ensured time and time again that we will never have leaders who will be accountable to us. The leadership is always accountable to them.
So everything's
you have to go forward and look and
allowing it to last this
long. Exactly. Everything boils down to us, not our capacity to think or create or build or do things. No. It still boils down to us to be able to take, what they call it, the bull by the horn. Stop waiting for, like, in the case of Nigeria, 2027. Removing Kolu is a now thing. Ensuring that corruption is a thing of the past is something we do now. It's not something we do in 2027. We have to know that sacrifices will be made, right? If we want to move forward as a people, I really didn't come because, again, like I said, I'm not 100%. I just wanted to listen to the show. But every time, every time people call in and talk about white people having some kind of edge intellectually over us, it pisses me off because that's not the problem. Our problem is not our capacity to think.
What is that?
You know, it's just that we
are still lacking basic infrastructure, basic amenities in 2025, right? So the what do you call it? The criminals in Nigeria who made it more like, I mean, they could do copy and paste now. Like you want the best structure. This is not something that you have to invent anymore. You need charm. You'll get better, right? So you need this particular specialty or specialist hospital, or you need this means of generating electricity. You don't even need to invent them anymore. These are now common everyday technology. Or you want to build roads, you want to build bridges, you want to construct this or that, you want to like train people on, I mean, come on. They make it look so impossible and more or less miraculous whenever they manage to do anything at all. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, one name.
One name. Osita.
Yeah, one name you talk.
One name the number. One name. So you're
Ikeja
Gamba as well, Baba.
Ikeja Gamba, Agutiebe.
And I'm with that.
Yeah.
Osita.
Anyway,
Baba.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you what our dear sister has said. You know, most of the times, a lot of us will speak and we don't have the data, we don't have the numbers. In America, as we are talking today, the most educated people are black women. They are the most educated people today. Why did you think that they are trying to kill DEI in America? Just to make it systemic that they don't have to take you. So a lot of people, they get it wrong. And I keep saying it. The more we depend on these people, the harder it becomes for us. The closer to the grave that we are getting. So until, like you said, you asked one question, which one is better for us? Is it the so-called democracy or is it the so-called military? I am sorry. We have to find out a way to fashion out how we want to govern ourselves and not how the world wants us.
Governance.
Yeah. Because when you look at, when you want to look at, you want to become successful, you should look at what somebody who became successful of recent time, what he did. The Chinese, the early 80s, the Chinese was one of the poorest nation in the world. Everybody knows about that. Even that time in the 80s, when they started producing, when they started producing for themselves. I remember that time. I was in the primary school. There are some things you take to school and they will say, chinko lele yo, chinko.
China, made in China.
China. You understand? Then a man came in. A man decided to take the manuscript of their founding fathers. He listened to economists. It's appalling that we do have economists in Nigeria, but we do have very educated people in Nigeria. But what are those educated people good for? They are only good for rigging elections. Go and look at it. The whole election that is being rigged is under professors.
Yeah, everybody.
Professors who cannot face the truth.
Election riggers.
Professors who cannot fight. The actual meaning of professor is what? It is somebody who produces people. The professors have not been able to produce anything that is meaningful to the society today. So how are they called professors? If they don't know. After teaching, the real meaning of professor is a man who has produced quality people in the society. So sometimes they don't know all these things. And, because they said, America is the greatest country in the world. And that means you have to follow that footstep, that path. I am telling you the gospel truth. Yes, I am telling you the gospel truth. I am not a supporter. I've never
in the world today, Osita, in this world that we are today, right? You could actually copy and paste every form of ideas from everywhere to build your own system and say this is this type of governance we'll do. Or when it comes to our elections, we're going to be using the model of Australia. I'm just saying now, Australia model is good for is what we're going to try. When it comes to our terms of office, we're going to use the UK model. When it comes to our economy, we're going to use the American model. When it comes to our infrastructure, we're going to use England. Like you import all these things, refine them, and make them your own. That you don't have to sit down and be cracking brain. In the 80s that you just mentioned, right? In Japan, Japan was building, at the time, they were building the fastest train ever. And they started the project in the 80s. I don't know, I can't remember the name of that Chinese leader that traveled to Japan on a state visit. So then they've done small city in Japan to test run the idea of fast train. Okay. So they now put him in the train like they normally, what they usually do in Nigeria, they put themselves in this locomotive, take pictures and tell you that train is working, right? So this Chinese leader was on that train, and it wasn't just the fast train that he saw. He saw the level of development in Japan, right? And this was Japan that was blown to dust during the Second World War. So remember, I mean, is it second one of it? Anyway,
the Second World War
from the dust. And this Chinese leader was like, how did you do all of this? So when he went back to China, they said that was the final stroke that broke the camel's back for them. Like, you know what? We would have to dig ourselves out of poverty. So he went back to his country. He now assembled all of the experts in different fields. And that's the China you are seeing today, including policies to protect that vision. Then you still in China, you die. There's no in between. They know they do jail. If you still public fund in China, you die. You just have to decide how you're going to die, by hanging you, by firing you, by lethal injection, by the electric chair. You go know that one later. That policy sustained there. It doesn't mean that they don't have corrupt people, right? But they've managed to inspire a national spirit that drove them out, and not without the sacrifices of the comfort of the rogues in power. You can't take care of the need of the people when you have the need of the greedy.
What did they do that was extraordinary? Like you said, you mixed up things. They mixed up the communism of the Russian and mixed it up with the capitalism of America. They mixed up with the socialism of the Europeans, and they got what they want. But in the case of Nigeria, like Fela will say, teacher, no be lecturer be your name. You just want to tell us that 1 + 1 is 2, then you have to run and jump with it without asking any question. This is the problem that we are facing. And when we keep looking and when we keep thinking that by talking about it, that we'll say, go and look at America, Oh, I am so sorry. They are the ones that are giving us the bad people to lead us. They will never get the good one among us to lead us. They will never support the good one among us because they don't have compromise on those people. So when they have compromise on you, if you go and look at the issue that happened with Congo, that whole issue from the time of Patrice Lumumba till now, it is the same issue that is going on because of the people of Congo. The Congolese are still thinking that, the West is going to help them, until we realize our identity and follow our true identity. Realize that the way they partitioned us in Africa was to break us, to make us to be different from each other. Even when we look exactly like each other.
See ourselves as different. Yeah. You are a Ghanaian, I'm a Nigerian, you are a South African, or you are a Malawi.
You are a South African. Even in the tiny Ghana, they will tell you that these people are from the northern side of Ghana, these people are from the western side of Ghana.
About this and that in Ghana. I think it's kind of mellowed a bit now.
So it has mellowed a bit now after Jerry Rawlings, because that was the job he did. So I am just saying this is the problem we have. And that's the reason sometimes I listen to this guy in South Africa. With that guy, I love it whenever he's talking about Africa. If you don't knock down the barriers, And those things have to come from our mentality first. If we don't learn how to knock it down, people will still sit down on us because Africa is their gold mine. And you think they will leave Africa. They are never going to leave Africa. You understand?
I do.
Thank you very much, my brother.
God bless you. Ostita, one name. You have a very good one, sir. All right. So, and that is going to be us this evening. And I am going to see you another time. So until then, right, just don't live without liking the broadcast. It's important. I'll see you again. So good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o ákàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.